All right, guys. Today we are gonna be reacting to Kamala Harris interview regarding steel. Let's jump in.
Hi, John from Pittsburgh. How are you?
Well, Madam Vice President, from where? California, Washington, everywhere. Nice to see you.
I'm in Washington, D.C. today. Thank you.
Well,
Good to see you.
It's great to see you again. Thank you for doing this with me. I have about 5 questions from folks in Pittsburgh, but I want to ask you a question, first of all, given what's happened in the Mideast right now. How far would the U.S. government go to protect the state of Israel? U.S. troops on air, in the air, on sea, or on land?
So let me start by saying that today I was with the president in the Situation Room for several hours, along with members of our national security team. And I'm pleased to report that based on everything we know as of this moment, our position, which is to support Israel in its right to defend itself, and Israel's ability to defend itself today was quite successful. And we must all agree that it is in the best interest of the United States, much less our allies, Israel, to ensure that Iran not have the ability to do what it was attempting to do today. It is
I need to go back to that.
The ability to do what it was attempting to do today. It is in American interest to make sure that we take seriously the threat Iran that it poses not only to our interest, to our personnel, and into stability in that region, both Iran and...
She's sounding like she's listening to something and she's trying to recitate what she's listening to it.
Iran-backed terrorists. And we will be unwavering, I will be unwavering in my commitment to Israel's ability to defend itself and to take seriously the need to deal with Iran in terms of the threat that it poses to U.S. interests, to our allies, and to stability in the region.
So you don't foresee the need for a...
I'm not crazy, bro. She sounds like she's listening to something and she's trying to recitate.
American forces to get into combat?
No, absolutely not.
Let me turn to another issue that's nationwide, everybody's thinking about, and that's in a couple hours. There's going to be a debate involving your vice presidential running mate, and you've got some experience with vice presidential debates. What have you recommended to Governor Walz in this debate?
You know, I've just asked him to be himself. I hope that your viewers get a chance to know Tim Walz if you don't already. Look, Tim Walz was a teacher, a football coach. He is a governor of a state that is actually reported to be the 6th best in the country for doing business. And he's just a good guy. He's a dad, he's a husband, he's a community member, he served in the National Guard. And I think that your viewers, if you watch the debate, what you're going to see is a real contrast between two individuals. And I think what you're going to see in Tim Walz is the guy on the stage who really has your best interest in mind and has a sense of what you're going through and a desire to help you. And that's one of the things that I think is the strength of Tim Walz and why he's going to do really well tonight.
Well, Madam Vice President, I don't have to tell you how important natural gas is to this region. It's how we heat our homes and our factories in this region. It's very plentiful and cheaper than oil. And we extract natural gas through fracking. So I wanted to ask you, there's a political ad on TV from a 2019 Climate Hall town meeting that you had, in which you basically said, quote, "There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking," unquote. The ad claims that if you're elected president, you will ban fracking and you will cost Pennsylvania over 300,000 jobs. Have you changed your view on fracking? And if so, why?
It'll be very interesting to see how she reacts to this, or how she answers this. I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt.
Let me start by saying that that ad, as you described it, is absolutely a mischaracterization that I think is intended to make people afraid of my presidency. Let me be absolutely clear, as I've been when I said it back in 2020. I will not ban fracking. I did not as vice president. In fact, I cast the tie-breaking vote to open up more fracking leases. And my perspective on this is grounded in a number of things, including that we don't have to ban fracking to do the work that we can do to also invest in a clean energy economy. So
You guys closed it. See, this is, oh my goodness. Like, we have problem with frackings all over the country, man, because of the new Green New Deal, whatever. I mean, I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it, folks. This is only 11 minutes. I thought this was at least 40 minutes. This is only 11 minutes.
that's where I stand, period. As President of the United States, I will not ban fracking. I did not as Vice President of the United States. And frankly, I think some of those ads are misleading intentionally to suggest to folks that they should be afraid, because on the other side, what you've got in my opponent is somebody who could and has not really done much about lifting up the middle class. My perspective on this issue is that I'm going to bring jobs back to rural communities. I'm going to make sure that we invest in those communities that have done the kind of work that you have in mind when we talk about Pittsburgh, when we talk about the greater aspect of Pennsylvania, and I'm going to keep doing that work.
Let me move.
Bad answer. Listen, I don't have any problem with politicians changing their mind. Politicians do it all the time. She said it on TV. She wanted to buy fracking. They won. She said it, and she hasn't even give an explanation why she changed her mind. That's the problem. She hasn't given no explanation at all why she changed her mind, which give you a sign of a weak leader.
To another issue that's important to Pittsburgh. Both you and former President Trump have made it quite clear that under your presidencies, a foreign steel company like Japan's Nippon Steel will not be allowed to purchase U.S. steel. But U.S. Steel tells us that if you block the sale and stop the promised investment from Nippon, it may shut down the blast furnaces in our area and even move its headquarters from Pittsburgh. So how will you block Nippon but keep our steel jobs right here?
So let me tell you where I'm coming from. I feel very strongly that U.S. Steel needs to remain a U.S. company and that the people working there need to be American workers. And
you see what I'm saying? She sound like they're telling her the answer through her ear, allegedly. But she sound like that. She sounds like this. We're gonna keep the steel in the United States, and the workers need to be American. Like she's getting the message and just trying to chew it at the same time.
I think that is also why I am proud and I do have the support of the Steelworkers Union.
You don't.
Because I just think that when you think about it in terms of a historic American industry, not to mention what it means for the workforce and the economy of Pittsburgh, of Pennsylvania, but also from a national security perspective, it is important that we have U.S. manufacturing of U.S. steel. And listen, I've been vice president now for 4 years. I've traveled around the world. I start my day every day being briefed on hotspots around the world and threats to our national security. When I think about the importance of supporting U.S. workers and U.S. steel, it is through the lens of not only what we should do to protect that workforce, but what we should do to protect U.S. and American interests.
But if you block this foreign acquisition, how can you guarantee that there will be support? Will it come from the federal government to make sure that these furnaces stay open and the jobs are kept here in Pittsburgh?
It is my priority to keep the jobs in Pittsburgh, understanding again that...
She's not saying how. No, she's not even giving you a glimpse of how. I can say that. I can run for president and say that.
The folks who are doing that work are doing hard work, good work.
Yeah,
It is part of not only a tradition of American industry to do that work, but it is part of what we need to invest in the future.
Yeah. Two more quick questions, Madam Vice President. Former President Trump says that you've had 4 years as vice president to do all the things you've promised in the campaign, but haven't done it. Is he right, or did President Biden not give you or limit it in some way your role as vice president?
So let's start with this. I think that the former president is really becoming quite desperate, and has really been offering a lot of misstatements and misinformation. And perhaps it's because he wants to distract from the fact that he has offered no plan for the American people. I have talked about this before. I invite you to go to his rallies.
Yeah,
and what you'll hear about full time is
go to the rallies. Everybody go to the rallies. You're going to love it.
It's him talking about himself and his personal grievances, but what you won't hear him talking about is you and the needs that you have as a working person, as a family person. My plan is about building an opportunity economy where I'm going to give first-time home buyers a $25,000 down payment assistance so they can get their foot in their door to be able to be a homeowner. My plan is about $6,000 tax deduction for middle-class families for the first year of their child's life to help them buy a crib or a car seat. My plan is about getting a $50,000 tax deduction to start up.
Give. Hey, who the hell is going to pay for that? Give. $25,000 for a down payment house. What's gonna happen with their property? What's gonna happen with the property values? They're gonna go up. But you're printing a lot of money. Don't you get it? You think the Americans are this stupid? Maybe we are this stupid.
Businesses, to our small businesses, knowing that they are part of the backbone of America's economy. Those are my plans. And I think that, unfortunately, what we've got on the other side is someone who wants to distract from the fact that his plan is about giving billionaires and big corporations a tax break like he did the last time and doing that again.
But you would acknowledge that as vice president, you can't do the things that you can do as president.
Damn.
Well, absolutely. There's only one president of the United States. But I have been very excited to spend time in Pittsburgh and in Pennsylvania. I was just in Pittsburgh actually talking about my economic plan, and but to spend time in Pittsburgh.
Bro, this interview is edited, bro. You know what I was noticing? The guys asking the question, they go zoom in to her. Question, zoom in, question, zoom in, question, zoom in. They're probably recording multiple answers. You can tell when things are not natural, so. But I might be wrong. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. I'll see you in the next one.